Light it again.
Me?
How was that for you? The beginning, moving into it that way.
Yeah, fine.
That's all we're shooting for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine, nice,
Fine.
good.
It was believable. I felt I was there. You know, once I started, you know, I let go of, oh shit, I'm gonna forget, and I think I did. I think I might have forgotten a couple lines, but my partner is, you know, young and strong and got a good mind. Brought it back quite well. So there was a couple little things, but there was another part of me, you know, one often wonders, you know, when there's a pause, how it's landing, and actually I didn't have any of that because it's quite normal for there to be pauses and, you know, my state of mind.
Yeah.
And hers also, where she's at, there certainly paused for quite a while. So there was no anxiety about, you know, thinking.
Yeah, good.
I thought that was present to you.
Yes, I would agree. Okay, Madam, how's this for you?
It was good.
How was going in that way?
I actually really liked it.
You don't sound so surprised.
Yeah, I think that it was interesting because it definitely did just kind of work its way into the feelings of the scene, which we obviously hope to do. So yeah, it was actually a really nice way to go into it. And then it made the parts where I was kind of just navigating with him, you know, if there was some like spots that were missed or whatever. It was definitely more at ease and just kind of like,
Yeah.
like again, like here we go.
I think this
Yeah.
is my third dimensional roll here at Crash.
It's doing well, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was, there were points of it where I felt very in story, but then I was like, wait, did he say something like that before? Like, or am I saying something that he didn't just say? Like, kind of referencing it?
You're questioning whether you were listening to him or not? You're in story, but wondering
I was listening, but then there was like, I think one or two lines where I was like, wait, did he say that? Because I'm so like used to just the story of it that I'm like, oh, I know where we are, I know kind of roughly what's happening. So then even if it was like he didn't quite say something, I was like, oh, did I just say the line that he didn't say? Kind of like referencing the line that he didn't just say.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah. I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't catch it if you did.
Because I think that was like the only time where I felt like, oh, maybe I'm out of it just for a second, because I was like, are they am I referencing something that wasn't just said, and are they kind of lost? Is the audience a little lost for a second? But other than that, it felt very true. I appreciated our dynamic that time for sure. I felt very present with him. And surprisingly, I would say I felt a lot more of the roller coaster of emotions with that one, and kind of like this deeper knowing when he's going off and saying all these things that he sees in the vapor of the coffee and everything, and it's like, oh no, am I losing him?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh great. Yeah, and that kind of like hitting a bit more. And feeling more tender with him at the end, for sure. Yeah, it was actually like, even though we kind of went a bit off and things were not said how it was written all the time, it was nice. It felt very natural.
Anything else? Michael?
Well, no, I was gonna follow up in that there were times when actually you were saying some of my words, and that it felt seamless.
Yes, yeah. It seems seamless.
You know, I mean, there's one little trigger point in there that we've hit every rehearsal. It's like, you know, and I said, well, you could say that one word, and that would, and she delivered. but it was like hearkening back to at the beginning when I said I have confidence that she will, that same little line, I might forget it, but I'm not concerned now.
Yeah.
Because, I observed that, and it seemed just seamless. I'm sure it was seamless to the audience, they didn't know.
Fooled us again.
One more time.
Well, my therapist accused me of road rage this week. So I yelled at her. Didn't quite go down like that, but
That's very funny.
Did she hear you last week? Is that what?
yeah. Exactly.
The New Yorker meeting.
No, she one of the joys of being married is that this person's gonna point out all of your shit. I guess any close relationship can get like that. But I'm noticing in my daughter, she has some of my shit. And I'm like, uh-oh. I don't like it when things don't go my way immediately. And what I'm talking about, I'm a toddler basically. What I'm talking about is, if I have to, it shows up in one or two places in my whole life, all the time. If I feel like I'm trapped or I'm like a cat in a bag, literally, like if you wrap me up in something and I'm like, get me the fuck out, like that kind of thing, but also mentally if that's the case. So like IKEA furniture is a guaranteed way to make me want to kill them. Anything that's moving. Any Scandinavian in the room that's going down. Right. What the fuck is this? Yeah. And I'm this is, it's been reflected back to me that occasionally I will go from what appears like 0 to 60 in a fit of rage because of a computer or IKEA furniture or something that seems minuscule. Right. And I'm aware of this. And it came up in therapy. Because I see Emmylou doing it. Like if she can't get her shoe on right away, she's like, "Ruff!" She doesn't cuss, but fuck it, is kind of what she does. And I'm like, ooh, wonder where you get that. So it comes up, and I say to my therapist, I said, well, I've known about this my whole life. When I was in 5th grade, I have one on purpose though. I can show you a mark on my knee where when I was in 5th grade, I'll never forget. I was sitting in my mother's bed doing my homework, and there was a math problem I couldn't figure out, and I took my pencil and I went like that, and it went right through the paper into my leg, and broke off the graphite into my leg. And I was like, I don't think my mother knows it, because I knew what I had done. I knew I lost my cool, 5th grade. And it was like, I just did this stupid thing.
Was it graphite or was it lead?
It was probably lead. That's what's going on right now. Yeah, everybody. That's what you're seeing right now. It's lead. My first tattoo, right there. But I had shorts on in my therapy, so I showed her. I was like, this is from when I did this.
Yeah.
This has been my whole life.
Yeah.
But I've never been in a fight. I've never hit a person. It's only ever directed at like when I'm working with technological things, or if I can't get a math problem or whatever, and I would like slam my fist or scream into the pillow or do. This is what I would do. And so I told her, I said, listen. She goes, so you have. I explained this happens in traffic sometimes, and I will squeeze my steering wheel or I'll yell or something like this. She goes, so you have road rage? You're like the most judgy therapist. I was like, fuck you. I have road rage. I'm fine. And I said, listen, I teach people to do this. She's like, what are you talking about? You teach people to have road rage. I said, no. I said, I teach people to express what's going on in their bodies. And I looked at her. I mean, she's an amazing therapist. She wasn't. But I felt like I'm standing up for myself here, so you don't misinterpret what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, I don't experience this as violent or dangerous because I have never in my life hurt a person. I've never in my life yelled at a person because of the technology or whatever it is I'm trying to deal with. I might yell or yell into a pillow, or break the pencil, or like just get really frustrated and squeeze my hands really loud or hard. Or if I'm in traffic, and don't do it much anymore, but if I used to drive 6 hours a day, and sometimes I'd be so depleted, and then traffic happens, that I'm driving home at midnight, there's fucking, why is there traffic? I just want to go home, and I'm stopped usually, or going very slow, and I'll just fucking scream.
Right.
And I said, I feel better. So it isn't, I don't feel, and I'm clarifying for my therapist, I said, I don't feel this is road rage. I feel this is expression. Something's alive in my body, and I'm letting it out. Why? Because if I don't know what happens. I bury it in, I go around, and I just have like, I'm like smiling at you, wanting to kill you. She understood. She said, oh, okay, I see. I said, I'm not saying it's good or bad, I'm just saying I don't know what the alternative is. We didn't talk about alternatives, I don't know that there are any, from her point of view anyway. I said, listen, I've investigated it. Why do these things bother me? Because I'm a control freak. I like it when things work, and when they don't, I get bothered, and I feel it, and I express it, and I move on with my fucking life. Leave me alone. But I do find it actually to be the point of what we're doing. Not the point, and I don't mean to, I'm expressing things that are otherwise bothering me. I'm not talking about this therapeutically. I'm just saying the alignment between my experience and my expression is the whole gig. And if we're talking about truth as a matter of distance between me and the thing I create, then if the actor can align their expression to their experience, then exist within the confines of the story. I'm not saying every character gets to scream when they want to scream or whatever. There's story boundaries here. And for sure, in my life, there are story boundaries. If I'm trying to put something together and Amy Lou is sitting there, I don't lose it. I just get up and I walk away if I have to. But I'm not going to, there's a bigger story here. I'm by myself. I'm going to let out all the sound I want to let out. But characters are not always by themselves. So I'm not saying you get to, it is confined by story. But the practice of the artist is, can I experience it fully and liberate it freely? Then confine it by story. See what happens. I really don't know. I just don't know any other way to talk about acting. I know there are other ways to talk about it. I mean, you can choose all the right objectives, like we talked about on Thursday. You can choose all the right objectives. You can have your whole backstory written. You could have wasted hours of your life doing both these things. But if you can't align your experience to your expression, you're going to sound like you're acting the objectives. I don't understand. And then I might say that, for good reason, please, I'm excited about this. We don't go around voicing our experiences all the time. I mean, I'm glad. I don't want to hear yours. We're at the coffee shop. I don't need you. I'm not into it. Shut the fuck up and drink your coffee and deal with your shit in your car by yourself. I just mean to say, we are pretty well trained not to express what we're experiencing. And then you have a toddler who doesn't learn that yet. And they express everything they're experiencing. And so I'm not in any way suggesting that we go around just expressing all that just free for all. There is the context of our society. I understand. But it is also to say that we've been pretty well trained not to express what we're experiencing. And then to come up here and expect that we can do that within the confines of a story, it's asking a lot if it's not practiced at a base level. So a great deal of our practice, sensitizing the body, liberating the expression so that it might be more completely affected by story and more truthfully communicated to the others. It does take practice because we're very good at not doing that in our world. Okay. 2 of you have been working on the scene for a while. We've done a lot of work on it. We're not starting blind. That's very important. And like we talked about last week, same thing. Everybody who worked this way last week, they knew the stories, they've been working, they're practicing. So we're not just randomly doing this. Michael, that's some of the freest, most connected work I've ever seen you do. I was with you the whole time. You seemed completely at ease up here with your daughter. I was with you the whole time. I know there were some lines, but I wouldn't have known had I not known. I wouldn't have known. The 2 of you were very connected. Some of the easiest I've seen your work. Seamless. Really good work. Whatever you're doing is working. However you're preparing. I know you've rehearsed a lot. I know you spent a lot of times with the language. It is working. Even if, I don't care if you got all of the lines, you had all of the moments. It's really, really, really wonderful to watch. I was like, oh shit. Again, you're upping the bar every time you work for yourself.
Wow, thank you.
Really, really wonderful work. Allida, this is some of the most playful and free I've seen your work. So easy, so easy. Completely present with him. That more roller coaster thing, yes, I'm with you. I saw it. Let me say this. I know you're auditioning a lot. Well, how do I start? This is the whole thing. And you did it wonderfully. Even your resistance. And I could have said, be careful, don't assume she's depressed. Because when you assume she's depressed and you're not, now you feel like you're far away. What does it even mean to be depressed? None of it matters. That is a judgment, of course. She's in one place, I'm in another, but how is where I am beneficial to where it feels like I got? She's not depressed. I understand we might say she's depressed. She's not depressed. She's just up late, having dealt with a whole bunch of shit. You see, so careful not to label her circumstance, because by virtue of that, you'll feel distanced from it. When actually, you were not distanced at all from it. You didn't want to do it, neither did she. You're right there. You didn't want to do it because you had a great week, you said, or whatever. If she's had a horrible week, that's beside the point. You're both beginning in a physical resonance. And so here's my point, everybody. When you are free to be where you are, I'm in my resistance, I'm in the tension in my belly, I'm in the whatever you described. When you are free to be there, I really believe only then are you free to go where you're headed. And so you have this roller coaster of things because you began in the freedom to be exactly where you were. It has to get aligned with story. You know story well, you did a quick integration, and you're taking places. I feel like this is so, it's going to put me out of work here. Just do this, you'll be fine. I don't know what else to say, except for this as well. Involvement is not the problem for anybody. You're involved now. Whatever you're involved with, maybe you're listening, maybe you're taking notes, maybe you've checked out 5 minutes ago. But you're involved. Your body's involved. It feels the lights, it hears the darkness, it smells the smells. Involvement is not the problem. Compartmentalization is the problem. So you're going, well, I'm involved right now in my body. I feel resistance because I had a great week and I don't want to go to this place. That's a compartmentalization. The minute you go, well, maybe my freedom to be in this place will take me to the freedom to be in her place, you just go, fucking A. Especially when you've been practicing and working on it. This really affirms for me that there is nothing, if you hear nothing else I say, there is nothing that can prevent you from involvement. There's not a thing that could possibly prevent you from getting involved in story, except the belief that you can't get involved in story. You could be on set, not wanting to be there, forgot your lines, totally nervous, I don't belong here. All of your bullshit does not prevent you from getting involved. You can have an audition and you're like, oh my gosh, I hate this afterlife because this is my 25th audition of bullshit verticals, and I have to be the lighting designer, the DP, I have to rewrite the script, and I had 25 pages to memorize in a week. My manager's not going to hear from anybody. I'm going to send this shit off, and I won't hear from anybody. And by the way, this is the worst written thing I've ever read in my life. Should have gone to med school. You can have all of those thoughts. None of them prevent you from the work you're here to do. None of them. Only your denial of them will. It keeps, to me, it remains fascinating. You could challenge me. What is the furthest away you could begin to end up in alignment with story? I don't think the distance is as far as we feel it is. I don't want to be here. This is stupid. I hate acting. I don't want any of this. Great. What's that like, and how's that pertain? Go. Is this crazy? We were doing this last week. I mean, it just feels like if I'm cutting to the chase with this stuff, this is it. Anyway, I don't need to see this again. It's really, really beautiful work. Great job. Do you have any questions?
No, but there was something that was in the staging when you were standing, it just felt very natural to,
Yeah, that was good.
sit down.
You're in discovery.
Huh?
You're discovering things.
Yeah, it was just at ease. I mean, there's a part of your mind, well, and everything we've done, she doesn't stand there, and I'm supposed to be over there. You have that little flash, but then it was just very easy just to go.
Yeah, I'm getting self-conscious here because I feel this is too simple.
I feel like honestly, I don't realize how little I express truly what's like in my body with words before or like sounds before I do something.
And you felt I was asking you to do that this time.
Yeah. It's like when I'm very present with it and conscious of it, then yeah, sure. But I feel like in my day-to-day life, I oftentimes forget to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Express
Like
what's in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to like auditions and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm more just like prepping, kind of like spinning and
Yes.
that instead of like actually voicing.
What's here first.
Yeah, what's here first.
Yes,
Yeah,
right,
so
right,
that was
right.
really nice.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's a big shift.
Yeah.
Now, the self-consciousness I'm feeling is because I have to acknowledge the two of you have been in class for a long time. You've been working this way for a while. It's not like you just. I mean, I guess you could take a stranger off the street and be like, "What's going on?" and I'll say these lines. It'll be decent, but that's not the point. The point is the deeper the practice, the more complete the performance. And it doesn't take a lot of time. You really can begin in what is happening in me, what's the most truthful expression of that, and how does that take me to story? And then we're somewhere.
There was something else. I mean, I felt there was a lot more play. I mean, I felt you were more playful with me, and ease, I guess, is the word. Yeah, playful. It was just, it was easy, and I mean, and now hearing it being discussed of what you had to go through as I'm going in and out,
Yeah.
and you're on the ride.
Any questions about this?
Yeah.
Kostas?
Nothing.
Why don't we do this? Why is this difficult to access in your audition?
I think because it's like you said, we're so used to not doing that in our everyday life. So it's like
That's good
to
stuff.
do that, like I don't always think like, okay, this is where I have to begin just voicing it. And I feel like when I started the class, that was the hardest thing for me. When you're like, voice the sensation, I was like, what?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like my therapist, are you encouraging road rage?
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
encouraging liberation.
Yeah.
Don't
And
put
I'd be
anybody.
like, how does it sound? What is that? Like, I've never been asked to do that, at least when I began, and then now thinking about it more, it's easier to access, but yeah, sometimes I'll just forget to do it.
This is a real broad stroke, but I do think, our manners, so we're brought up to be well-behaved and who don't say that or don't swear or, don't get angry, we all experience that a lot, and whether it be our parents or whether it be the teacher or, now you're going, speak.
Speak from it.
Speak. But I like, you do have to think, okay, but there's still a little you still have this,
We have the story.
you have this story of,
Yeah.
stay within it.
Claire has-
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I was just gonna say, do you think what stops us, I guess, from, cause I do that as well, where I'll have an audition and it'll be, one of those commercial auditions that has the simplest, action thing, like sometimes they don't even have lines or anything, but these things are still helpful. Do you think it would maybe be the uncomfortableness of actually expressing what you're feeling in your body that stops you from expressing it, and then therefore you become even more uncomfortable by not doing it, and then it kind of sort of becomes a little bit painful in a way when you don't do it, and so then you're like
You say your
kind of-
commercial auditions are painful? Can you pick up the toilet paper and put it in the
It's
bag,
like,
please?
yeah, like there was this, like for example, there was this commercial audition I had, and the action stuff was like, how am I gonna do this on a self-tape? Like, why would you do this to me? I'm uncomfortable, and now I'm mad because I'm uncomfortable, but I don't wanna look uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then you still have, and then, you know, the lack of like expressing it or not getting
Compounds
it
it.
out kind of makes you feel like,
Now I'm faking it for real.
like, what am I doing
Yeah.
now? Yeah.
Well, let me say a couple things. I think what I'm suggesting we're doing is to live the experience and express it. And the experience is the experience of the story. So I'm building belief, I'm spinning in problem, I'm doing the things I'm doing, and I'm living the experience, and then I express that. Ultimately, is where this goes. And maybe I have to live the experience I'm in before I can live the experience the character's in. Maybe the experience I'm in is I don't want to do the scene right now. I had a great week and I don't want to do this right now. Maybe that's the experience I'm in. Or maybe in an audition, I have a sneaking suspicion that the minute the audition protocol is happening, we go into a very transactional perspective. It's very hard not to. We want to book the job. They've told us this is how we want it. You got to do it like this. This is what they're looking for. A manager said that. Everything in our mind often is going, okay, how can I hit the target they've put in front of me? And this work is not conducive to that. Because no matter what you did in class, it was class, not real life. No matter what Ben said, he doesn't really know because the casting directors asked for this. And so I've got to be here, which is not where the character is. And I've got to be there, and I'm supposed to just work like that when so clearly that's not what's going on. Let me just play what's happening here, and I'll give them what they want. And it's very hard not to fall into that. And the biggest risk I'm asking us to take is exactly this, that I am going to be free where I am, in acceptance of where I am, before I can get to where anything is asking me to go. And to do anything else is to begin in denial, which is what you're saying. I'm in denial of my current experience. I'm frustrated because I don't like the self-tape. I can't do the action they want me to do in a self-tape. This whole thing is ridiculous. But I'm going to pretend like that's not happening, and I'm going to put on a good face to do the thing they've asked me to do, and to do it as best I can, and have a good attitude. And I think that's wonderful. That's the step I'm suggesting is first let me be frustrated by this. Hell, do a take if you have to. I'm saying you can begin in it and they can be taken where you need to go. But you could do a fuck you take first. Fine. I'm going to do it from frustration just to see what that's like now that that's out of the way. Oh, okay. I think I can go somewhere else. If you begin in denial, it's hard to get to acceptance. And I know what acceptance looks like. Acceptance looks like freedom. It looks like play. It looks like joy. It looks like presence. It looks like I'm really involved in the task at hand. So I think it's difficult to do what I'm asking, not because in the safety of a class it doesn't make sense, or if I'm walking you through it and we're all just doing this scene and it's going to be lovely, whatever. That's not the point. The point is, can you risk this kind of exposure when your own camera is running or when the audience is paid to see it? I mean, it's lovely in here. Everybody's like, yeah. And then you get an email from your agent and you're like, whoop. The last thing you think about is what you did in class. Unless you took a self-tape class, and then you go back to that. And you're going, yeah, I'm going to do what I learned in my self-tape class, but not in my acting class. As if self-taping and acting are different. Just give it a shot. If it's a bad take, don't send it. I yelled, I saw your hand.
Well, I was just going to say, so Clara was my reader for an audition this week, and I always sort of like anxious, I don't know, but anyway, like, oh, I'm using her time, or, you know, like I'm using her time, so I like want to be efficient and like whatever. Anyway, so, but yeah, so we did do a few takes, and then it was the last one where I was like, okay, we literally just did this on Sunday. Like, see where I am. How many times do you need to hear this? You know, be where you are, you know, whatever. And but I think I had that thought intellectually before the other takes, but I didn't really sort of, I think, take the moment to let it sort of like sit properly. And then for the last take where I did say, okay, like let me really just genuinely take a moment and let that sit where I am and all of that. And then I think both of us felt like, oh wow, like that take was like clearly like the one, you know. So.
If you get a reader from class, or a reader you're comfortable with, maybe start your auditions this way, if you're my reader. And I feel subconscious, I'm using your time. I want to finish this in 2 takes so I don't take up a lot of your time. Maybe I start like that. Maybe I say, Clara, thank you so much for helping me. I'm really self-conscious right now because I'm going to take up your time, and I want to get this right. I really love this role, and I haven't booked in a while, and my agent's kind of breathing down my throat. That's where I'm starting. Okay, I think I'm ready. I mean, a lot, and then Clark doesn't have to say anything. Clark's very nice. He goes, no, you're not bothering me. No. Just be like, okay, fine, that's where the fuck you are. Can we start? The irony, the benefit that the reader's allowing you to do is to arrive to where you are before you try to get where the character is. Because otherwise, you're right, we're going to spend 2 or 3 takes trying to suss that out. And really, I mean it. It's the biggest risk you can take. Because you're actually risking being seen instead of just playing the character. Hey, Adrian.
Yeah, I was just thinking it has to be a knee-jerk that you go to yourself before the character of the story.
Yeah, if it can become that habitual, yeah.
It's not easy at all.
No.
Because I think that ultimately we're so addicted to wanting to do it right, correctly, for their pleasure. Oh, look at that. She was dull, but she did it right.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I think it's really saying, I'm going to dare to be so wrong. I mean, I think the greatest artists have done that.
Yeah.
I'm going to dare to be so wrong on this. And just go for it and find a way. It's like there's a path. Like you said, you started out as someplace, but you got to playfulness. So it's like a path, and trusting that path. You can really see it when it happens.
You can.
Yeah, really.
There's a core bias of mine that I think probably everyone in the room is on board with, or that might be why you're in this room. But it's still hard for us to accept. And I've for sure been accused of being a little Pollyanna about this. Well, Ben likes everything. I know that's the case. Well, Ben never says something's bad.
I've accused you.
You've accused me of that? Ben always likes whatever it is. Newsflash, I don't. I have preferences. There are things I don't care for. The other day, there's this new band I found who was really amazing, and then one of their songs came on, I was like, not that one. There's things I don't like. But this is not about preferences. The thing that I believe, that I'm sure everyone in the room works to believe as well, at least in this room, there is an inherent goodness in the person, every person, an inherent goodness. And sometimes when I say this, people misunderstand me. I'm not saying everyone's good at acting or good at the thing they're trying to do. I'm not talking about a quantitative evaluation. It's an inherent goodness in the person. And if you'll work from it, the work is inherently good. And the difficult thing about this is that to continue to working the way you just did, you didn't say this, Allida, but you know, the actor in Allida's shoes might say, I'm in the wrong place. In other words, they might be telling themselves, I'm not very good right now. Not in those words, and you have a better self-esteem than that, but maybe over time you start going, I just can't do this. I'm not good. I'm in the wrong place. This isn't the right thing. This is going to be embarrassing. I'm not going to get cast again. And eventually, you start chipping away at the inherent goodness of the artist. Then the last thing you're going to do is risk that, because if I were to work from myself, I'd be working from a deficiency. It isn't good. But if you work in this way, and Allida starts in a place that we might have said is not the right place, and we find out that, yeah, but it's the truthful place. And if I start in the truthful place, the story takes me to all the other places. Then eventually you start to see, oh, this is good and fertile soil, whether I think it is in the moment or not. And then we see, oh my God, that's a person up there. And it was good. And it wasn't good because Allida played the character well. And it wasn't good because Michael played the character. The character doesn't exist apart from them. It's good because they access something that is good in them, which is the fabric of their own humanity. And they did it from the very beginning, in the prep. They didn't take 3 takes to get there. They didn't feel it all the way. And it wasn't some weird, I mean, I don't find this to be weird, but it's not a weird psychology play. It's not a weird substitution play. I'm not picking my own scabs and wounds. I'm just going, what's literally here now, the most truthful thing I can identify at the moment or sense in the moment, and how's it beneficial? Excuse me, and can I express from it? And you do this long enough, you have to be careful. You'll come to see yourself as good. You really will. Because you're like, oh shit, even the thing I thought was the worst thing about me, I don't want to do this. It belonged in this experience. Ain't that the damnedest thing? So what is it that would disqualify me? And what is it that would make my work bad? Well, there couldn't be anything. Does this make sense? I don't find this to be Pollyanna. I find this just to be deeply, deeply true. And maybe that's why it's hard to see.
I think it also supports that if another actor, and you're using this exercise with Allida, and there was another actress, is it's being confident that you're bringing yourself to it, even though you're not playing yourself. But every actress or every actor that comes, to the scene, it's going to be a little different. It's
Yes, for
a
sure.
different human being up
Yes,
there.
it will.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
So, yeah. There you are.
It's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
All of the exercises we teach are pointing back to this.
Yeah.
And I just continue to find it fascinating. And I hope it doesn't look like a shortcut or some kind of trick, because I find it to be very difficult to do. If it was easy to do, well, we would have been doing this forever. This is where I started. There's just so many reasons why this is wrong.
Why, what's wrong?
Doing it this way is wrong. You didn't choose an objective. There was no playing of tactics. There was no choices being made other than the choice to begin in that and let it take you. Anyway, it's wonderful work. Any other questions? I don't need to see the scene again, so make sure we let it. Okay, take a short break, everybody.